and I think it was a smart move.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Set, ready.
Now Carter to start the drive. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. This defense for the Niners, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And what I saw in Bill was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
The throw over the middle taken in. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll send a receiver in motion left.
Watch out now, 50 Fury. Ready?
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the Vikings at 2 and 4 here in the first half of the year. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month partner in this league without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Okay, ready?
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Let's go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the counter, Mitchell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Ready. 10 cycles.
Another run with Mitchell. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up first and 10. Nick Bosa in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Roman. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Fly blue. Hold pink. Blaster, 6. Ready?
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. This is taken at the 15. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And some room to roam now. Touchdown, 49ers.
Elijah Mitchell, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the 49ers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0.
Vikings, nothing.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So already not the best at kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Hauled in over the middle by Rager.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt them.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Ready.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, it was so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. To throw on 3rd down, Roman. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Lance looking to throw it.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
He's going to let it go again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Taking it about the 16. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
To throw on 2nd down, Roman. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit. And that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
69 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
29-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Now a play fake. Lance.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Lance on target to Samuel for a Niner first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. And it's never going to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
On 3rd down, here's Mitchell.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Elijah Mitchell
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Niners have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Vikings 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
This is intercepted.
And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about development.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Lucine. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. They just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they went.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel with career touchdown number 70.
And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
And that flag accepted.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
On the ready.
They'll start on the ground. Carter.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Another run on second down with Carter.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. To the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Vikings 3.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto, until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in.
And now here is another interception.
And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A give running right is Mitchell.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The tackle by Cameron Dantzler. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line.
We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
The Lance going to throw.
That's Samuel, caught left side. That's good, the completion there for 7 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Okay, ready?
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun, a give to Mitchell.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Ready?
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Ready?
Mitchell. will score. Touchdown, 49ers. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Roman, that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 15 yards there for number 15. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Ready.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Let's go now.
They run over center with Mitchell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's got Rome. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
124 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, He's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
They'll run with Mitchell.
And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Lance going to sneak it.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away. And here we go.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Ready up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Carter straight ahead.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Throwing on first down. Roman. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Roman. That's caught at the 25. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
But they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
On second down, here's Mitchell.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no shortage of it today.